Da, 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 da. Hello. All right, let's see how this works. Allegedly. Checking. All right, I am on YouTube. Hooray. Am I on Substack? Dun, 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 dun. Ah, I am on Substack. Hi, people on Substack. Your comments are not showing up over here in Restream. Why, thank you, Dawn. I can see it on Substack, but it's supposed to be showing up here on Restream, allegedly. Let's see. Restream. Boo. Boo. Oh, I can switch between. Huh. All right. You know what? I can live with it. I'll take it. It bees what it bees. I'll just have to look at myself on two different screens. I'm an adorable ogre. Sock puppet. Oh, look at me. I'm dressed. Whew, you saw me naked. Ah! Scandalous. Scandalous, I say. So, as you can see, we're trying something new here. This is we're on Restream. This is what Nick Parrow uses, and from sick of this show, sick of this shit show, or just Nick Parrow. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give that a try because he can do a whole bunch of stuff on that I was not capable of doing over on Riverside. So it was like, you know what, I'm gonna give this a try. I was futzing around with it. I talked to Florida Woman, and she also liked it. So yeah, we're doing this now. So I could do nifty things like this. Ooh, fancy. So cool. And apparently you can just scan that little thingy and poof, it'll take you to whatever it's supposed to go to. So very helpful. Okay, I'm going to get off the screen because that's, just tossing it up there. I know, it's super high tech. At some point, I can put music on here. I have to actually do something about that. I have to go find some whatchamacallit, licensed royalty-free music. I have to start skimming through a bunch of those sites and find something good there for my intro and outro. Either that or I have to get the license for the songs I've been using, which is probably going to be super expensive. I'm so ashamed of myself. Anyway, peoples. So what we're doing here today is we are down to, what do I got left here? So far we've raised $1,730 for the fundraiser for Team Feeding America that was started by Melissa Corrigan. So I jumped on that because I am not coordinated enough to do stuff like that. But if someone else sets it up, I can definitely help raise money. So that's what I've been doing all week. I've been begging and pleading, please, please give me money. Well, not me, because none of that's going to me. And as well, it shouldn't, because, well, I am not the one who's hungry and needs food. So didn't quite make it to the 2000. So that, can I sing? La 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 la. Me. So I'm here to beg you very politely for the next hour or so, or 2 hours, depending how long it takes me to get you people to cough up some dough. I've already tossed in my 200. We're so very, very close to our goal. Very, very, very close. So I'm here to beg very, very politely. Please help me finish off my $2,000 goal. It's just another $270, and we are there. And then I will stop pestering you for money. I promise. You'll never hear me pester you for money for the rest of this year. Probably. Unless, another thing pops up where people need money and they're very, very desperate. Because, at that point, I'm just going to keep begging you for money for other people. I don't beg for money for myself. I beg for money for other people. Because, that's just how I roll. Anywho, so, yes, if you could just scan that or click on it. I think you just scan on it. I don't think you click on it. You scan it, and then, yay, off you go. Donate some money. Just a little bit. It's awesome. Just popping over to see what's going on in YouTube. Yeah, I don't think anyone's on my YouTube. Oh, wait. I think my YouTube's... Oh, no, my YouTube's not frozen. I just pressed pause because I'm stupid. Yeah, I'm on YouTube. I'm on YouTube now. That is a thing I can do now. I'm so cool and high tech. It's like, wow, man, look at me. I'm so awesome. I figure someday people might actually watch me on YouTube. Who knows? Don't just. Anyway, yes, we're trying to broaden our horizons here. So anyway, so technically this is an Ask Me Anything. So you guys are here. Knock yourselves out. If there's anything you want to know, this would be the time to ask. There's like 30 of you in here. So, anything that tickles your fancy, let me know. Questions. Ask me questions. Shit, I'll even solve math formulas for you. Badly, because I'm not good at math. See, look at that. You're already learning stuff about me. We got in here. Oh, hey, TV. What's going on? La, da, da, la, dee, la, da, da. So I don't know if you guys have read my article from this morning. The Epstein apocalypse has arrived. Burn, mega burn. Very, very entertaining, because these are just the worst fucking people in the world. And watching them squirm is absolutely fucking hilarious. Has Michael Wolff had made any public statements yet? I am not sure. I know he popped up somewheres. He did an interview with someone, but I don't know the details because I have not read that yet. I don't know. He's kind of creeping me out. The fact that he was helping Epstein figure out how to, not exactly blackmail Trump, but kind of leaning in that direction. It's like how to manipulate Trump was really distressing. It was like, dude, man, what are you doing? Granted, he didn't know Epstein was a pedophile at that point, or he might have had some inkling, but it was really like, this is not what you're supposed to be doing as a journalist. Even if you just consider yourself, well, I'm not a journalist, I'm just writing a book. Dude, what are you doing? You're not supposed to be advising the guy that you're interviewing. It was just creepy. The way, he was just inserting himself into the whole drama. It was like, that's not appropriate, man. You're supposed to write the story. You're not supposed to be the story. But I guess when you're that close to that much power and money, it's hard not to make it's hard not to make yourself part of it, I guess. So I don't know. It was weird. It was weird and disconcerting, but I guess that's one way he ingratiates himself. I mean, not for nothing. Trump kept talking to him even after he wrote one of his books that Trump was mad about. So it's like, how does that work? Like, why would you not? It's not a matter of why would you trust this guy, right? I mean, if you know he's writing a book about you and he's going to write stuff that you don't necessarily want people to know about or hear about, why would you keep talking to him anyway? But Trump kept doing it, so he must be really, really good at getting and ingratiating himself to people. So, but not that I don't necessarily doubt anything that he's writing or anything that he said, but it does seem, it does come off as sketchy. Definitely, Christiane. You know what? I'm sorry when I read people's names and I hear them in my head and then I say them badly. So I apologize for that. Like I see Christine and then I want to say Christiane. So I apologize. I completely just butchered your name there. But yes, it does seem sketchy for sure. Close enough. Yes, there's a Chris and a T and an and. So yes, close enough. Oh, I am so disappointed that whatchamacallit, comments aren't showing up over here, because then I could put them up on the screen, and I can't do that. Boo. Actually, can I? Oh, sort of. Let's see how that. Oh. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, kind of. Sort of. Maybe. A little bit. I'll get there. I'll figure it out. I'm on a bit of a learning curve here. You'll have to excuse me as I figure out the bells and whistles. Also, I'm doing this with one hand. I don't know where my other hand went. Might have something to do with a sock puppet. Anyway, so the thing I was writing about, I started this article yesterday, but the thing with this whole the MAGA that's going on, and it's all going to fall apart for them because they put enormous amounts of effort into training and brainwashing. Well, it's not even really brainwashing, because nobody likes pedophiles, right? Well, okay, that's not necessarily true, but I'll get to that in a minute. They put a huge amount of effort into making pedophiles like a main cause, opposing pedophiles a main cause for the right, like above and beyond what is normal. Like, everyone opposes pedophiles for the most part. Normal people do not like pedophiles. But they made it into this huge central thing for the Republicans, for MAGA. And they figured they'd be able to use it as a cudgel against the left. But now it turns out that their big global elitist cabal of pedophiles, well, it turns out that it's real. Surprise! The tinfoil hat was right for a change, but Donald Trump is an integral part of it. So what do you do when the leader of your entire cult movement and political party is the thing that you've been hunting for the better part of a decade? What do you do then? Well, that's a problem, isn't it? You can't just say, well, yes, we hate pedophiles and we want to drag them out into the street and we want to kill them all and we want to execute them and death to all pedophiles, except for this one, except for that guy, except for Donald Trump. That's okay. We don't mind him being a pedophile for reasons. You just can't, right? They made it too much a central premise of who they are. It's too core of an ideology for them to turn around and say, well, actually, we didn't really mean it. They do that with a lot of other stuff, like freedom of speech. Well, we didn't actually mean freedom of speech for you. Or, religious freedom. Well, yeah, but only our religion. There's really no way to maneuver around pedophilia. It's either you're opposed to it or you're not opposed to it. And supposedly, they're opposed to it. So what do? They have to go with this. They have to. They have to go after Trump. They have to burn him. He's a witch. Burn him. He's a witch. So that's why Trump world is fighting so hard to stop this. Which is why, they're gonna go fucking ballistic. Like, they're talking about invading Venezuela. Because that'd be a great distraction. Christiane just asked, what do you think Trump is going to do to distract? Well, that's definitely one thing they're planning to do. Something else that they're planning to do here. Trump just put this out today on his stupid Truth Social. Now that the Democrats are using the Epstein hoax involving Democrats, not Republicans, to try and deflect from their disastrous shutdown and all of their other failures, I will be asking AG Pam Bondi and the Department of Justice, together with our great patriots at the FBI, to investigate Jeffrey Epstein's involvement and relationship with Bill Clinton, Larry Summers, Reid Hoffman. I don't even know who Reid Hoffman is or what Reid Hoffman is. I think maybe it's a bank, because then he goes on to name JP Morgan, Chase, and many other people and institutions to determine what was going on with them and him. This is another Russia scam, and all arrows point to the Democrats. Records show that these men and many others spent large portions of their life with Epstein on his quote-unquote island. Stay tuned. So that's exactly how you expect someone who's desperately guilty to act. He could just say, I'm innocent, here's the files to prove it. But he can't do that. He has to scream, everyone else is guilty. And it was hilarious watching Megyn Kelly say, well, was Jeffrey Epstein actually a pedophile? Like, I know he liked young girls, on the barely legal side. And she was talking about 15-year-olds. Just to be fucking clear, 15 is not barely legal. 15 is absolutely fucking illegal every single place in this country. There is no state where the age of consent is 15. The minimum is 16, and that's only in a handful of places. Everywhere else, it's above that. And no place is it 15 years old. You cannot have, if you're an adult, if you are 18 and older, you cannot have sex with a 15-year-old legally. You are raping them and you will be arrested. Unless, of course, you're a Republican and you're white and you're a conservative Christian, and then you're just forgiven. God forgives you. So, yes. And that's the fact that she's saying that tells you she knows he's in that fucking file. He's in those files because she needs to justify it so badly. She's doing, I couldn't fucking believe it. Like, I saw the headline, I was like, she cannot fucking be saying this. And I listened to it, and she actually fucking said it. And if I understand it correctly, she has a 14-year-old daughter, which is like, really? So if your 15-year-old daughter hooks up with a 40-year-old guy, you're going to be okay with it? Of course not. She would lose her fucking mind if that happened. She would go absolutely fucking apeshit. But she can't help it. She has to defend the cult. Has to. Cannot stop. And the reason is, when this comes out and there's pictures and or videos of Trump with underage girls, whether they're scantily clad, actually naked, or he's having sex with them, because Jeffrey Epstein made videos and took pictures of adult men having sex with children so he could blackmail them. There's a very large chunk of his base that's going to say, you're fucking dead to me. And they're going to demand that he be impeached, that he be arrested, that he be fucking murdered, because they're going to go fucking crazy. They've lived the last decade of their lives, screaming from the top of their lungs that all pedophiles must be destroyed, when they thought it was us. They cannot pivot now. They're locked into this. And they can't make an exception for Donald Trump. So, yeah. They know this, which is why they've been freaking out about this. I don't know what the whole thing at the beginning of the presidency, when he was first sworn in, why they made the Epstein files a thing when they knew he was in it. But they did. Womp womp. I don't know. All right, people. We are still at 1730. Got it. You got to give me a bone here. You got to help me out. We got to raise some money. This is for hungry families. These are for the people, well, not just the people, but these are for the people that had their snap cut off by the Trump regime, because they are a bunch of assholes. The goal here is $2,000. We've only got $270 left. Just click on that little, no, well, not click on it. I keep saying click on it. I'm sorry, because I have my mouse right over it. But just, scan it right there. Jump on that. Donate anything you can. $5, $10. I'll put the, sorry. Ta-da. Put the link in the chat here. Anything you can. Doesn't matter. I don't care if it's $2. Every dollar you donate is 10 meals that this group can produce. They're very, very efficient with their money. I was explaining this to my daughter, Anastasia. She was just like, how the hell are they doing that? I was like, when you are donating food at scale, when you're buying the food in quantity, in bulk, you get it for a lot cheaper, and you're not selling it, so you don't have to make a profit. So, you can buy, 500 pounds worth of rice and beans for way, way less than you would get it in a store, because there's going to be companies that are just like, they produce this stuff at a much lower cost just to feed hungry people. You buy it at Costco buys it at a lower cost because they're selling it in bulk. You get to buy it at a cheaper price. Now imagine doing that, but you don't have to make a profit. That's how they do this. So every dollar is 10 meals. You donate $10, that's 100 meals. I donated $200. That's 2,000 meals, which was awesome. That felt great. It's like, we're coming up on the holidays, and a whole lot of people got screwed by the regime. So, come help out. See, just donate to hungry families and tell Republicans to fuck all the way off. Ooh, excuse me. Yeah, I'm a little tired right now. I woke up at a ridiculously early hour this morning. Just randomly. Just woke up at 3:30. Don't know why. just my body hates me sometimes. That's no worry. If you're unemployed, there's plenty of other people in here that are. Actually, I should go post this back into regular notes again. Hold on. Da-di-da-di-da. Probably should have done that before I started, but did I? No. No, I didn't. Ugh. Good lordy. What was I thinking? What was I thinking? Sorry. It is hard to do this with one hand. That's what he said. Now check a bow wow. 270 left to go. Whoops. Okay, there we go. And we're back. Sorry, you know what? You could just share the link. Share the link and ask other people to donate. And say, hey, you people, you got money. Send it. Rah! See, that's my ogre growl. Grr, roar, rar, brr. Oh, my goodness. Let's see. Where we go on here? Oh, Russia media definitely does not care about the connection between Putin and Epstein. Actually, I haven't seen that in the Epstein in the stuff they just dropped. They could literally have video of Putin, and it's like, my God, he's so manly. Look at him. They're so fucked over there in Russia right now. Like, even after they lose the war with Ukraine and the Putin regime crumbles, it doesn't matter. It's gonna take Russia generations to recover from the. I mean, they've just, even when they managed to turn themselves into a democratic country, there was no way it was going to last. They're such a broken country. It's going to take them forever, if they can ever manage to pull themselves out of it. They're just so used to being ruled as opposed to ruling themselves. They just don't have the mindset for it. Oh, excuse me. Thank you for sharing the link. Yeah, if you can't donate money yourselves, just share the link and ask your family and friends. Just help out. Donate a couple of dollars. Just jump on in and just share what you can. Oy, excuse me. Let's see. What are they up to? Do we have any breaking news from these pricks? La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Oh yeah, no, he's been whining. He's whining at House Republicans. Yeah, he's very mad at House Republicans because boo-hoo, whine. Why won't they do what I want? Nah. That's going to be funny because that's going to keep going. Oh yeah, hit that heart. Apparently, the more you hit it, the more this pops up on people's feeds, and then they can join in. I don't really know how that works. Substack is a complete freaking mystery to me. I don't even know how the algorithm works anymore. I'm just so completely lost with that. It's like articles go viral. I get 5 new subscriptions. It's like 5 free subscriptions. I don't even care about the paid ones necessarily. I figure if 20,000 people read an article, I probably should have more than 5 free subscriptions attached to that. But who knows? Good Lordy. Yeah, I mean, I think it's hilarious that Trump is asking Bondi to investigate the Clintons because it's like, yeah, go ahead, just hit that Clinton button, hit the Clinton button, and then he's gonna hit the Obama button, anything to get people to be like, oh no, he said Clinton, he said Obama. Let's stop paying attention to the fact that Donald Trump's a pedophile. It's like, that's not going to work. You're still a pedophile. You're a pedophile, and your name, I mean, Jesus, I saw one thing in that last dump of emails. He's in there 1,000 times. His name pops up 1,000 different times. That's really quite impressive. I mean, I don't think I show up in 1,000 times in anyone's emails. Like, my relatives don't talk about me that much, and I'm literally related to them, and my name doesn't come up that much. It's good Lord. But, Donald Trump's a pedophile. He's not going to be able to get out of this one. I mean, when he just starts randomly arresting people, that's still not going to change anything. He's a pedophile. What are you going to do? Dumbass. Christ, he's the worst. He's the absolute worst. God. All right. So, again, the reason we're here today, other than to laugh about Donald Trump being a pedophile and just squirming like a worm on a hook, that put himself on the hook himself. Haha. We are here to raise money for hungry families this holiday season. We are 2 weeks out, not even at this point. We're like a week and a half away from Thanksgiving. SNAP funding hasn't quite been restored yet, even though the government's open. The Trump regime is not rushing to get that money out because, well, fuck the poors. That's the attitude of the Trump regime because they hate everybody. So I'm here trying to raise $2,000 for Feeding America, which is an organization that does great work for feeding people. And like I said before, every dollar is 10 meals. And so far, we've raised $1,780. We just got another 50. Woo! So that's 17,800 meals. We just have another 220 to go, and we'll reach our goal of 2,000. And I will stop pestering people, I promise, until I find some other thing to raise money for other people. Because, fundraising is fun. I put the fun in fundraising. Boom, boom, boom. I'm definitely the first person to come up with that joke, I swear. Like, have you heard that joke before? Have you ever heard that? No one's ever heard that joke before. Sorry, I'm just doing my little Trump impression here. Ugh, ugh, I feel dirty now. I just want to smear my face with orange makeup. Blah, blah, blah. Wait, hold on. Is that orange enough? No, that's red. I gotta have orange around here somewhere. Something with orange. No, there's no orange. I have no orange makeup. I can't do a Trump impression without orange. Sad. Oh, well, what are you going to do? Anyway, so still, again, technically, this is an Ask Me Anything. Ask. Do it. Do it. Ask questions. Are you trying to say my breath stinks? Should have mouthwash. Wait, hold on. There we go. There we go. I'm good now. I'm good. Just a little, hold on. Little spurts there. I'm good. I'm good. We're good to go now. All right. Brush my teeth and stuff. Hold on. Actually, I'm a sock puppet, so this is how I brush my teeth. The lint roller. There we go. There. Minty fresh. I'm ready for my close-up. Are they still working on the East Wing? There is no East Wing. It's gone. There's nothing left to work on. They destroyed it. I mean, I don't know. It's weird, right? So I keep seeing all these weird conspiracy theories about the East Wing that they're spending way too much money on the renovation. It's not a renovation. You're not renovating it. They're just replacing it with a tacky ass ballroom. It should not cost as much as they're spending, right? And they're talking about how they're building some secret underground blah 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 blah. And I the thing that's annoying to me about that is, one, why are people coming up with these weird, bizarre, elaborate conspiracy theories about, deep underground conspiracy bunker / data centers? It's impossible to build a data center underground without anyone knowing about it in Washington, D.C. Well, not in Washington, D.C., but at the White House, right? You can't do it where the East Wing was without people seeing it, because it's right out in the open. It's not like it's covered. If they put up a giant tent, then sure, maybe they could do that. But you have to dig a lot of underground tunnels and move a lot of dirt to build a giant underground data center. You can't do that secretly. People would notice. It's hard. I mean, not for nothing. The White House is surrounded by buildings with windows, and lots of people have cameras, and they're all pointed at the construction site. It would be impossible to do. So that's just silly. You can't just do underground construction without anyone noticing. It's impossible. But what you can do is build a giant tacky ass ballroom for 2, 3, 4 times as much money as it's supposed to be worth, and launder all that money and have it disappear. I mean, has no one seen the Ozarks? That's classic money laundering shit. It's like, oh yeah, we're gonna do this. It's gonna cost $100 million. Shouldn't it only cost like $30 billion? Oh, cost overruns. Oh yeah, no, it's so much more difficult. Oh yeah, no. We have to pay for the concrete and cost overruns and overtime and so many. Oh my God, so much stuff, and all just cook the books, and all that money is going to disappear into people's pockets and Trump's bank account, and it'll all be legit. Hey, totally legit. It's totally legit. Like, people are going to make millions off of this, because why in God's name would you spend $300 million to build a ballroom and not make yourself rich while you're doing it at the taxpayer's expense? Or actually, I'm sorry, it's not even taxpayer expense. Excuse me. These are bribes from private companies. So you don't even have to do the accounting. You could just say, oh yeah, no, we don't have to open the books. It's not government money. It's private. So we don't actually have to show you where the money went. It's none of your business. It's not your money. It's not the taxpayers' money. We don't have to show you where $150 million disappeared to. Sorry. And that is a far more plausible explanation than they're building a giant underground data center, blah, 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 blah. Why would you bother doing that right out in the open where everyone can see it? And it would take a long time to do it. It would be very difficult to set up without anyone noticing. And by the time you got it up and running, you're quite probably risking having the next president, who's going to be a Democrat, walking through the door and having access to all of that power. Why would you risk that? If anything, you build it somewhere else in the country, and then, if the next president takes over, you just say, oh, well, we don't know about that. It was off the books. and you make it disappear, and then Peter Thiel controls it. That would be much smarter if you're going to do that. I mean, granted, these people aren't that kind of smart, but they're also not this kind of stupid. This is just straight up grifting and graft and just straight corruption. So, I don't know. I don't know why, don't make it more complicated than it needs to be. It's just not necessary. Excuse me, I'm not used to talking this long straight without pausing. Blah. So here's the question. Do you think Canada will get any of the monies back paid to USA for illegal tariffs? The Supreme Court, all of them, well, not all of them, but most of them, even the Republicans seem very not convinced that Trump has the power to slap tariffs on anyone he wants for any reason. Why the Republican justices are suddenly like, hey, actually, you don't have unlimited power as the executive, where their entire project is creating a godlike emperor. And all of a sudden they're like, actually, maybe not completely godlike. So it seems very likely they're going to say no to tariffs. They're going to strike down tariffs. And the reasons for doing this could be either they've decided that Trump is not going to be the guy to get them over the fascist finish line, right? And they're looking ahead at the midterms, and he's not going to be able to stop it, which means Democrats are going to be in control of the House and quite probably the Senate. And if they're in control of the House and the Senate, Trump will not be president in 2029, and neither will J.D. Vance. It's just not going to happen. They have to stop the midterms, or they will not be able to stop the 2028 election from happening and Republicans from getting bludgeoned all over the country. And the Supreme Court, the Republican justice is looking at that saying, yep, Trump's not going to be the guy to do this. He's not our Hitler. He's not going to be able to pull this off. And neither is J.D. Vance. So we cannot continue to keep giving ultimate power to the president, because the next president will be a Democrat, and we don't want to have a Democratic emperor, because that would be very, very bad for the Republican agenda. Or they've decided that Trump's tariffs are murdering the economy. And the economy is the thing that's going to destroy the Republican Party. So if they stop the tariffs, they're hoping maybe that they can keep the economy limping along long enough to get the Republicans through the midterms and give them a chance of stealing the 2028 election, because they have to be in control of Congress in order to steal the 2028 election. And the only way that's going to happen is if the economy has not completely collapsed because of Trump's tariffs. So they may be looking to protect the Republican Party from itself. So it's one of those two things. It's certainly not because they actually believe tariffs are bad, or because they think Trump doesn't know what he's doing. They don't care about that. They only care about giving Republican presidents unlimited power. So, what happens when they say no to tariffs? Are they going to make the regime give back all the money? I think they're going to make them give back some of it. It's going to be really, really hard to undo all of it. Like, you and I, we're not going to see a fucking penny. We're not getting back a goddamn penny that they cost us. That's done. That money is gone. The billions of dollars they've stolen out of our pockets, that is gone. But corporations can open their books and say pretty fucking definitively, you cost us this much money, and put out their hand and say, give me my money back. Oh, well, see, you're lucky you're Canadian. There are days I wish I was Canadian. Trust me, me and Mrs. Ogre have discussed many times how to get over the border and what it would take to get out of this country if things went really, really badly. We've looked at maps and how to get out of here. Like next summer, we're coming up to Niagara Falls, and we're going to, like, we got our passports and everything. We're gonna use our passports. We're gonna cross the border just to see what it's like. Like we've been out of the country. Me and Mrs. Ogre have been out of the country. The kids have not. So we're just gonna go for a nice drive up to Niagara Falls, cross over into Canada, spend a few days there, wander around, just to see what it's like to go through Border Patrol, just to go through the whole border thing. How much of an issue? Because I know they're starting to make it more difficult. And if we find that it's getting really, really fucking pain in the ass, we'll start looking more carefully at how one would cross the border without actually going through a checkpoint. We have definitely put some thought into it. New Brunswick. I know New Brunswick. I don't know where it is. I mean, I know it's in Canada, obviously, but where's New Brunswick again? Is it East Coast or is it West Coast? Or is it Central? Like, I know I've seen it on a map. I just can't remember where I've seen it on the map. I actually sent an email a few years ago to an agency about what it would take to, I was about to say defect, about what it would take to immigrate to Canada. As of right now, we don't qualify. But, things change. When they start locking up Jews or when they start going after autistic kids, maybe we can apply for refugee status. We'll see. Probably not in Quebec. They wouldn't like us. We don't speak French. Womp womp. Oh, okay, so you're on the east. No, I know Nova Scotia's up on the east, right? All right. So, yeah, I think that a bunch of companies, a bunch of larger corporations will definitely get back money. I think some countries will be like, hey, you cost us a whole shitload of money. We want damages. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, regular, all the Americans, the billions they took from just everyday Americans, we're not going to get a goddamn penny. Nothing. We're not going to see anything from that. Not even a rebate. Not even the $2,000 rebate check that Trump promised. That was never going to happen. Never going to happen. But, that now here's an interesting question about the tariff money. Trump keeps talking about how they've taken trillions of dollars. It's been 2 trillion, 3 trillion, 20 trillion. Where's all that money? What have they been doing with it? Where did it go? What have they been using it for? No one seems to be able to answer that question, which is somewhat concerning. Like, did they put it into the treasury? Did it just disappear into an offshore bank account? When they say start returning that money, are they going to say, oh, actually, yeah, that money is unaccounted for? How is that going to work? Like, what are they going to say about where that money went? Is the IRS going to be like, well, actually, we don't have the manpower to account for all that money? That's going to be super, super fascinating, that conversation. Because I believe that will be a 2-day story. And then the New York Times and Washington Post will move on to something else. Because, we don't want to talk about that. Like, I remember back in the 2000s, when we were busy throwing hundreds of billions of dollars at the war in Iraq and Afghanistan, the Pentagon lost billions of dollars. And they didn't know what happened to it. They just misplaced it. Gone. They couldn't account for it. And every time there's an audit for the Pentagon, they just lose. Billions of dollars. It's just, not there. We don't know what happened to it. Somewheres, whatever. And that's it. It's like it's a quick news blurb, and then they just move on. It's like, what? Wait, what do you mean you lost some 10, 15, 20, 30 billion dollars? What? You just made it sound like you just dropped a dollar bill someplace, or, oh shit, man, I had a $5 bill in my pocket. I don't know what I did with it. Oh, well, whatever. It's like, yeah, that's billions of fucking dollars. What do you mean you lost it? You can't lose billions of dollars. Are you fucking insane? Nope. That's what they do, because you can just get away with that when you're the military, or apparently when you're the Trump regime, because I promise you, they're going to have misplaced billions and billions of dollars in tariff money. Can't wait. That's going to be amazing. So looking forward to it. All right. We are now at $1,805. That means we only need $195. And I will stop begging for money. Begging. This is me begging. Beg. Please. Just pretend you're Donald Trump and you're just using some of that tariff money that you lost. All right, so for everyone that's joining, what we got going on here is we are raising money for hungry families. These are for the families that Donald Trump has been fucking over for the last month, last 2 weeks, by cutting off SNAP, because he's an asshole and his regime are a bunch of psychopaths who just hate everybody. This is somewhere between 12 and 20 million kids have not been getting proper nutrition because they cut off SNAP benefits. And when states started doing it anyway, they demanded that they claw that money back. It's like, you can't do that. You're not allowed to do that. Bring that money back or we will punish you. Mind you, the guy running the USDA, I forgot his name. I should have written it down. He calls himself a conservative Christian. And he actually sent out a letter saying, you have to claw back the money from SNAP because feeding hungry people is absolutely unchristian. Jesus would never. He just would never. Oh, I'm sorry. Republican Jesus would never. These people are fucking monsters. I mean, let's just say what it is. They're fucking monsters. And when the regime falls, they all have to be fucking Nuremberged, dragged out, put on trial, and then swung from a fucking tree until dead for crimes against humanity. They're just fucking monsters. All right. So anyway, yes, we are down to less than $200. That's all we need left to reach our goal of 2,000. And this is Feeding America. It's an organization that is hyper efficient at getting food to hungry people. Every dollar you donate is 10 meals. You donate $10, that's 100 meals that are going out to hungry people that the Trump regime is not feeding, even though they are legally obligated to do so. Judges keep telling them, you have to do this, you motherfuckers. But they won't because they're monsters. So just scan that barcode or click on the link. Hold on. Let me pop it in here again. Actually, you can't click on it, but you can copy and paste it. So I wish you can click on it in the chat, but copy, paste it, or scan the barcode on the screen and donate some money. Doesn't matter if it's $5, $10, $20, whatever you can give. And you will be doing the good stuff. If you're not in a position to donate, that's cool. Share the link on your page and get someone else to donate. And that is just as good. Getting someone else to donate is the same thing as donating yourself. You got someone else to get that money in there. The money got in there. And that's all that counts. As long as we reach that 2,000, I don't care how that money got there. I don't care if you went out in the street and found a $2 bill. As long as that money gets in and Team Feeding America, they can send it to hungry people, I could give a hoot. Oh, excuse me. Anyway, so while we're killing time and waiting for people to donate some more money, does anyone have anything else they want to talk about? There's 85 of you in here. Someone's got to want to know something. Anything? Nobody? I can sit here and regale you with my singing voice. But nobody wants that. Every time I start singing in the car, my kids will just start yelling at me. It's really quite amusing. I do it to annoy them. Tee. Especially Jordan. Jordan says, "Daddy, stop!" It's very funny. He gets really bent out of shape when I sing. He hates when I sing. I don't know why. It hurts my feelings. Makes me very sad. Okay, no, it doesn't. Let me see. Democrats, see, I'm looking at Political Wire right now. Democrats less likely to be friends with Republicans. Despite a polarized partisan political environment, most voters who consider themselves a member of a party say they have a close friend on the other side of the aisle. However, Democrats in the poll were less likely to say they have a close cross-party friend. More than 8 in 10 Republicans said they have at least one close friend who is a Democrat, while a little over 6 in 10 Democrats are close friends of Republicans. Yeah, that's actually not that hard to explain. So when Trump first got elected, and this went on for years, I kept seeing memes about, they didn't do it so much the second time, but after Trump got elected, I saw memes. It's like stick figures. I forgot the names they used. It was like, Dick and Jane type thing. Here's Dick, here's Jane. They're still friends, even though, Dick voted for Republican and Jane votes Democrat. They don't let politics get in the way of their friendships, blah, 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 that sort of thing. Right. And I saw that and I looked at that and I said, well, that's fucking bullshit. Okay. So here's the thing with that. Republicans always tell themselves that they're the good guy, right? That they're actually the hero, that they're not the villain. Like, they'll demonize Democrats, but they just tell themselves that they're actually good people, that when they win an election, they're good people, and they don't understand why their friends and family don't want to talk to them. They don't understand. They don't get it. What's the problem? It's just politics. But Democrats, on the other hand, they look at Republicans and they see them for who they are. And Republicans do not look in the mirror because they don't want to see who and what they are. But we see them. And we see people who vote for hate, and they vote for cruelty, and they vote for just violence over and over and over again. and I've told this story on the podcast and I've written about it more than once. When Trump was elected in 2016, elected, I told my wife that this was going to be a problem. And I went on Facebook, because I was still on Facebook, and I said, and I wrote to people, do not tell me if you voted for Trump. Now, I didn't specify who I was talking to, but I was directing this at my in-laws, my wife's mother and her stepfather, because I knew that they were Republicans. And I didn't want to call them out specifically, but I made sure, I made it understood. Do not tell me. I don't want to know. Because if I don't know, we can maintain the polite fiction that you voted third party or you didn't vote or whatever. But once you tell me that you voted for Trump, I will not speak to you again. Ever. And that will be the end of it. We will not speak again. You have voted for someone who enables white nationalists, who speaks to them directly and empowers them. And those are the people who want me, a Jew, and my Jewish children dead, which means you voted for someone who wants me and my children dead. And we will not speak again. Do not tell me. So then my mother-in-law called up her daughter, my wife, and bragged to her that she'd voted for Trump. And this is something she has never done before. She had never called up and said anything about who she had voted for. Like, we knew they were Republicans, and we had discussed politics before, mostly, actually not mostly, always to their detriment, because they don't know anything about politics, and I know everything about politics because that's what I do for a living. But they had never called up and said, oh, this is who we voted for. But they were super excited about voting for Trump. So she called up and bragged that she voted for Trump. To which my response was, okay, I will never speak to your mother again. And that's it. And it has been 9 years now. I have not spoken to her in 9 years. And my wife didn't fully understand why I was doing that. And I told her, now my wife is not Jewish, obviously. But I told her at the time they were railing against Muslims. They were railing against immigrants. And I told her they will come for the Jews. It's inevitable. They always come for the Jews. This is what white nationalists do. They always do this. And 7 months later, or not even, Charlottesville happened, right? With the neo-Nazis marching and screaming, Jews will not replace us. And they killed Heather Heyer. And I looked at her and I said, that's why I won't speak to your mother again. That's why I will never speak to your mother again. And that's when she understood. She's like, oh. And I'm like, yeah, that's what's happening. And now here we are, 9 years later, right? Trump is back in the White House. They're building concentration camps. And now the Republican Party is fighting with itself about who's going to be in charge. The I love Israel or the literal neo-Nazi anti-Semites. And let me be super clear here, right? This fight that's going on between Ben Shapiro and Nick Fuentes and Tucker Carlson, Ben Shapiro's not going to win. The anti-Semitism group, those people, the people who say, oh no, we defend Jews, they're not going to win. The Nazis are going to win. Because the fringe never stays the fringe. The more extreme the position, the more mainstream it will be. And Nick Fuentes is the future of the party. He just is. They're white. The Republican, the American right wing is white nationalism, and it's only getting worse. That's not going to stop because the future of the United States is not white. It's us. It's a pluralistic, diverse country. And people like Nick Fuentes, who is not white, by the way. I mean, he's Latino. He's white passing, but he's Latino. They cannot tolerate that. So they will just double down and triple down and double down more on white nationalism because it's the only thing. They cannot compete in a world where white skin is not elevated and centered. They have to destroy diversity because they cannot compete unless they have white supremacy. Because without it, they're just boring, mediocre white men who have no special skills, who have no special talent, they're just nothing. And without that special scaffolding holding them up, they'll just be another face in the crowd. And that is intolerable to them. Absolutely intolerable. So they would rather embrace literal Nazism, mass murder, before facing the idea that they're not special, that women can outcompete them, that Black people can outcompete them, that Latinos can outcompete them. Not all of them, just the ones who are better. But that idea alone, that there's a woman who's better than they are, that a Black person is better than they are, that there's a Latino who's better than they are, they cannot tolerate that. So they will burn the country to the ground and commit genocide before allowing that reality to come to pass. That's what we're seeing here. That's all this is mediocre white men who cannot face the fact that without, on a level playing field, they mean nothing. So they'll burn it all to the ground first. So that's where we are. Blah. And that's why I'll never speak to my in-laws again. All right. Anyway, where are we here? Yes, we are still at $1,805. I need you all to go out there and spread that link. Just pop it on Substack, pop it on your social media, send it in emails. I don't know. Anything. We're down to our last $195. If we get down to $100, I will stop nagging everybody and we can end this. Me yapping at you incessantly. We've been at this for an hour now. Yap, 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 yap. I know it's fun looking at a puppet. Hi, puppet, puppet, puppet. All right. Wait, Dave, you're saying your wife is beginning to think the same as your Trumpy mother-in-law, or she's beginning to think the same that maybe you shouldn't be talking to her? Because if your wife is starting to go over to the dark side, you should probably do something about that, because I can't even imagine what my marriage would be like if my wife was an open Trumper. That would just be, I couldn't deal with it. I just wouldn't be able to deal with her. Like we just would not be able to talk at all in any way, shape, or form. Like we don't talk a ton of politics. Like we talk politics regularly, but not like, we don't talk politics the way I talk politics on here, because she would die from boredom. She's not as tuned in as I am, although, I mean, not for nothing, I do this professionally. So she's, a normal person. She's a civilian. So she only gets so much of it from me. she's been paying a lot more attention this year. I mean, she wasn't not paying attention, but she has to pay a lot more attention because, you know, she would prefer not to get fired from her job. She's a government worker, which is why I am a sock puppet instead of, you know, an actual person with a name and face, because we can't afford to have me linked to her because, you know, fascism. Yay. Yeah, no, I couldn't tolerate. I mean, I just couldn't. Like, I stopped talking to one of my brothers because he just started getting too Trumpy. Same thing with one of my cousins. It was like, yep, nope, not doing this. Sorry. It's like, I've known you my entire life, but you know what? If that's how you're going to be, bye. See ya. Can't. Nope. Not doing this anymore. That's a you problem. That is not a me problem. That's a you problem. Blech. It's quite amazing. And the amazing thing is they're Puerto Rican. It's like, you know, they don't even consider you American, right? You get that. They'll try to deport you to Puerto Rico, you know, which is part of the United States, because they really don't think you're an American. Because, these fucking people. God, just, ugh. It's like anyone brown skinned that speaks Spanish is just not an American to them. It's like, I'm sorry, they've been Americans longer than you have. Shut the fuck up. My abuela was an American longer than you. But nope, you cannot teach the stupid. I mean, you can teach them how to be more stupid. Republicans are great at that. The only native thing I am is a New Yorker. Someone was complaining the other day. They're asking me if my native language, if English was my second language. Like, yes, my first language is Brooklynese. Now, fuck off. Hey, yo, I'm on fucking Brooklyn, all right? Don't fuck with me. Hey. All right, so this is still technically an Ask Me Anything. No one's asking me anything. Okay, one person's been asking me stuff. No one else, though. People, there's like 100 of you in here. You have to have some questions. Sheesh. Yeah, I never really quite got the whole right-wing hatred for Native Americans or Native anybody's. I just never quite got it. It's like, I mean, did they hate them? Did they hate them because they were here first? Is that it? Or is it just you're not white, so therefore? It's like, whatever. It's so weird. Just the absolute hatred Republicans have. Oh, wow, you got dual citizenship? Oh, good, you can sponsor me when we have to flee the country. Ow. Oof. Oh, this is killing my shoulder. Sorry. That's why I have this thing here. Even then, it's still kind of rough on my shoulder. Like, I would get a mask, but that would be even weirder. I don't know. Maybe I'll just stretch the sock and put it over my face. That wouldn't be bizarre at all. No, I'm sure it'd be perfectly fine. Oy. I don't know. Cowboy movies are likely the reason Republicans hate Native Americans. I don't know. I've heard people say that, but I mean, not for nothing. I grew up watching cowboy movies, cowboys and Indian movies, and even like the really, really racist ones where, you know, they had Indians like, you know, bloodthirsty savages, yada, yada, yada. It didn't really teach me to hate. I mean, I ran around as a kid with a little gun playing cowboys and Indians. I grew up in the 70s. It didn't teach me to hate Indians. I mean, granted, I lived in New York. Like, we're about as far removed from the West as it gets. But I never learned to hate Indians. And I mean, not for nothing. In 1973, we were like 100 years out from cowboys and Indians at that point. He was like, that was like the distant past. That's like being afraid of, I don't know, the French from the French-Canadian War. It's like, oh my God, we were at war with the French once. Or, it's like we were at war with the British and the Revolutionary War. It's like, oh my God, I fucking hate the British because we fought them in the Revolutionary War. It's like, really? I mean, you could be like that, but why would you? That would be such a weird thing to, or even it's like, I hate Germans because of the Nazis. It's like, I mean, I watched way, way more World War II movies as a kid. And that was only like 30 years ago at that point, when I was like 30, 40 years ago when I was a kid. And at no point did I hate Germans. Nazis, sure. I didn't hate Germans. And I lived in Brooklyn. There were Germans there. And I was Jewish, right? So I definitely had a problem with Nazis, but I never even thought about like, yeah, fucking Germans. Goddamn Germans. I hate Germans. Germans. It just never even occurred to me to like, look back and say, oh yeah, fucking goddamn, we should just destroy Germany now. It's like, dude, that was like decades ago. I mean, granted, and those people are still alive, right? There ain't no Native Americans alive that were running around scalping people by the time I was a kid, right? That was long done by then. So it was like why would you still hold on to that from watching movies? It would just be such a weird thing. Then again, Republicans, they're weird people. Jesus Christ. Their vice president fucks couches. So what are you going to do? All right. Hey, look at that. We're at $1,855. We only got $145 to go. We're almost there. We're so close. Woo. Yep, just scan that QR code. Ooh. Oh my God, my throat is so dry right now. Scan that QR code, hit that link. So close. Ooh. Excuse me. And as soon as we're done here, I have to go write a ton of shit for Dungeons & Dragons on Sunday. We're so close to the end of the campaign. Oh my God. We've been at this one campaign. We've been at this one campaign since July of 2024. That's how long this campaign's been going on. And we're almost to the end of it. And we're not going to be able to finish it until sometime in February. Because we've got the holiday break coming up. We're not going to finish it before the holidays. And then January, we're going to have to like catch up to where we were because we're going to have been stopped for like 3 weeks. And oh my God, we're so close. We're so close. So very close. And the big finale is they have to fight an ancient blue dragon. And honestly, I have no fucking idea how I'm going to have them survive this. They are not a high enough level to survive a fight with an ancient blue dragon, but that's who the final boss is. I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to do this. Like, I'm going to have to throw in a whole bunch of backup from other things that they've done from the last year and a half in order for them not to just immediately be destroyed on the spot. So I'm going to have to have a whole bunch of NPCs just pop up and save their asses. Otherwise, they're going to be slaughtered. Because dragons are not a joke in Dungeons & Dragons. For obvious reasons. Literally, it's in the title, Dungeons & Dragons. And an adult dragon is difficult. They're fighting an ancient dragon, which is really, really difficult. Like, they should be like level 16 to take on an ancient blue dragon. They're level 9. By the time they get to it, they'll be level 11. And somehow the module, the campaign set up for them to fight this. And it's like, oh my God, who wrote this? Whoever wrote this should be punched in the face. This campaign is called Storm King's Thunder, has given me nothing but agita for the last year. It's so badly written. If you do Dungeons and Dragons, never, ever do Storm King's Thunder. Ever. Avoid it like the plague. Avoid it like you would avoid Donald Trump babysitting your children. Okay? That's how bad it is. Oh my God, it's the worst. Blah. Anyway, so that's my little Dungeons and Dragons diversion today. Sorry. Gonna give my throat a little rest there for a second. Nom, 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 nom. Let's see what's going on here. Bum, 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 bum. Any other fun things happening today? Where are we? Yeah, it does seem like we're getting ready to invade Venezuela. For oil. I don't know. Do you think Trump will come after Canada with boots on the ground? No. No. Not Trump. It would be too difficult. Like, Canada's got an actual military and would be capable of fighting back in a significant way. That would be very, very costly for Americans' military. I mean, not for nothing, we could stomp Canada into the ground, but it would be very, very violent and very, very bloody and very, very bad. And it would really, really piss off everyone in the country because, they can justify whatever they want with South America. They can make up all bullshit about, it's run by the cartels. It's country this and drugs that and blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. Terrorism. No one is going to believe we're invading Canada because of fentanyl or massive Canadian drug cartels. Like, when they started talking about massive amounts of fentanyl coming in for Canada, pretty much everyone and their mother said, what the actual fuck are you talking about? Are you insane? You sound like a moron. That's not where fentanyl comes from. Right? It's like, Canada is not a hotbed of drug cartels. That's not, no. Shut up. So, we could invade, but not like that. Now, when we were first discussing getting the fuck out of this country, if things went very, very badly, and it did in fact become a fascist police state, like if they won, if they managed to topple democracy and they ended elections and et cetera, we figured we would get over the border, get to Canada, and then leave. Because Canada is the first, they're not going to want to conquer Mexico, right? Because then you have the population of Mexico to deal with, which is all Latinos, and they don't want Latinos. However, Canada is a country filled with white people who speak English, and you do in fact have a ton of natural resources there. It also has a massively large border that the Republicans would really want, the Nazis would, the fascists would really want to seal. All right, a big, giant open border is a problem for fascist police state. Mexico's border is not that big. It's pretty closable if you decide to militarize your entire country. Granted, taking over Mexico and closing the southern border of Mexico would be way easier because it's much, much tinier. But they would definitely have to do something about Canada. It would be intolerable. You got to remember, one of the reasons Russia invaded Ukraine is because Ukraine was becoming too much of a democratic country. And Ukraine is too similar to Russia in terms of demographics, right? They speak a lot of the same language. They're very, there's a lot of crossover ethnically. And if you have, what's not exactly a small country. So if you have a big ass country on your border that's similar in demographics, similar in language, similar in history, and then you look at it and you say, wait, why do I live in a fascist country where everything sucks and it's shitty and everything's poor and it's falling apart? And then I look across over there, right across over there, that border that's right there. How come they get to live in a free and open society and everything's working properly and it's kind of clean and the people are polite and they have freedom? Why don't we have that? And why do I have to live in this squalor? Why does that happen? That's bullshit. And that's a problem, which is why Russia had to do something about Ukraine. It was becoming too much of an example of what they don't have. You can't have a thriving democracy of similar people and similar backgrounds right on your border, because then everyone in your country is going to be like, why don't we live like that? Why do we have to live with this bullshit? Why are you guys why do you suck so much at running this country and they're doing such a good job? So Canada will become, if this country were to fall and become a fascist dictatorship, like really a fascist dictatorship, they would have to do something about Canada. They could not just say, seal the border with Canada and ignore them. It is impossible. And remember, fascist dictatorships, always expansionist, right? They always have to do the expansionism because they always have to have an external enemy. Like after they're done making America great again by getting rid of all the people they hate, they have to look outwards. So where are they going to look? Canada. After they invade Venezuela and steal the oil. All right. People, we are still at $1,855. We only have $145 left to go. We're so close. So close. Scan that QR code. Click or scan the QR code. Grab this link. Share it on your feeds. Help an ogre out here. My throat's starting to hurt. I've been talking for an hour and a half straight. Yapping away. Don't make me invade Canada. I'll do it. I want that poutine. What's poutine again? Isn't it French fries covered in cheese and gravy? I think my arteries just hardened just describing it. I'm sure it's delicious. I'm pretty sure I would put on like 5 pounds just looking at it, and my cholesterol would go through the roof. Someday I'll have it. Probably my last day, but I'll have it. Oh, delicioso. Okay, how did I make that sound more Italian than French? Wait, maybe if I say it with more sarcasm. Oh, you Americans, you do not appreciate the good food. You and your McDonald's. Good lordy. Sorry. Oh, by the way, in case anyone asks, so one of the things people keep saying is like, why didn't Biden release the Epstein files? There's an actual answer for that. I'm going to read this from Julie Brown, journalist. As for why Biden and the Democrats didn't release the criminal case files, Maxwell, Ghislaine Maxwell, the disgusting, gross pedophile,
Maxwell's criminal case was still open during the Biden administration. She wasn't convicted until late 2021. And then she appealed her conviction. Generally, it's not a good idea to open your evidence files when a criminal case is ongoing. We still don't know whether the FBI was still investigating other possible suspects who helped Epstein or participated in his crimes. If you're still targeting suspects, you don't want them to know you're zeroing in on them. Womp, womp. Now, I am personally looking forward to Maxwell getting her pardon in the next couple of weeks. That's going to be absolutely amazing when that happens, because you're going to see this incredible split screen reality. You're going to see a whole bunch of people like you and me and a whole lot of MAGA freak the fuck out. Like, you just fucking pardoned a child rapist. Because remember, Maxwell did not just find and recruit these girls and possibly boys for Peter Thiel, but she participated in raping them. And she was a fucking sadist. Like, she hurt these girls. And I don't mean, she hurt them like, yeah, she had sex with underage kids. She hurt them. She's a sexual sadist. She enjoyed inflicting pain on them because she's a fucking psycho. Whatever her problem is, she's a monster, right? So it wasn't just about having sex with underage girls. She liked hurting them. She liked inflicting pain on them. So Trump is going to pardon her because she's blackmailing Trump. There's a reason she got moved to a minimum security prison, and she's being treated like she's in a hotel spa, right? She gets special meals cooked for her. She gets private shower time. She gets to play with the therapy puppy. She gets all these perks that nobody else gets, much less a fucking pedophile. Okay. So she's going to ask for her sentence to be commuted soon. And Trump's going to do it. Otherwise, she's going to release the information she has on him. And she has to do it soon before the Epstein files get released, because once those get out, she loses all of her leverage. So I thought originally she was going to wait until after the midterms, because if she gets pardoned before the midterms, that's a wrap, right? It's over for Trump. But he's in a box now, right? Whatever she has is probably worse than what's in the Epstein files. Otherwise, he wouldn't be doing what he's doing. But he has to do this, or she's going to burn him, right? And she can't, commit suicide at this point, because everyone's going to be like, oh, so she just Jeffrey Epstein, even though she's in a minimum security prison and she's being treated like a fucking queen. And that's when she decided to kill herself. Yeah, no, bullshit. There's not enough tinfoil hats in the world to make that one disappear. So when Trump commutes her sentence and she's a free woman back out on the streets, you're going to watch half the country lose its fucking mind. And then you're going to watch right-wing media be like, well, she was a victim. And you're going to watch the legacy press spend at most 24 hours clucking its tongue. They're going to want to downplay this and be like, well, yeah, that's terrible. That's just, let's move on. That's what's going to happen. The right is, the press should explode in outrage for weeks on end. But this is Trump we're talking about. They're not going to they don't crusade against Trump. The only reason the Epstein files is in the news all the time is, one, because they keep finding new stuff, right? And two, it's really salacious. But once, and they do love salacious, and they're still hoping that when the files come out, they can sweep up a bunch of Democrats. Like, they desperately want Bill Clinton to be in there. They will do anything to make sure Bill Clinton's in there. Like, the day the Epstein files are released, you're going to see the headline, video shows Bill Clinton and Trump in compromising positions. Like, I promise you, they'll put Bill Clinton's name first if he's in there. He will definitely 100% get the marquee spot in the headlines, even though he's not the fucking president and hasn't been in 25 years. They'll put his name first and then Trump, because clearly Bill Clinton's more important than Donald Trump. You know, the president. Ugh. I feel like Trump did not have a sexual encounter with Clinton. Ew, yuck. Blah. Blah. Gross. What, did the two of them have sex with so Sent in America is saying Trump had sexual encounters with Clinton. New release email suggests that what, the two of them had sex? Or the two of them had sex with the same girl at the same time? I find that really, really unlikely and also super gross. Blah. Gross. I don't know. I don't know if Maxwell, well, just like, she's not, is she American? Didn't she come from another country originally? I feel like she was British, or her family's British. I could swear that she came from another country, or her family's from another country. She definitely will not stay in the United States. She will take the money that she has hidden in offshore accounts and just go someplace else and try to disappear. But being as she's the most famous pedophile in the world, good luck with that, I guess. Maybe. We'll see how that works. Maybe one of the QAnon people will hunt her down. You know, because they're so against pedophiles and the global pedophile elite cabal and blah, 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 blah. But, you know, she's not a Democrat, so they're not quite as serious about it. We'll see. All right. Anyway, so we are still down to $145. Let's get to $1,900, and I can stop talking and give my throat a rest. Click on this barcode right here. Come on, organization. Let's finish this. Or share the link in the chat over here. One or the other. Just another $45. Give me a break. Help. Feed the nice hungry people. Just $45 more. Please. Please. Oh, excuse me. All right. So there are 114 of you in this group chat right now. Does anyone have anything they would like to ask me? Questions, things. It's an ask me anything. That means anything. Ow. Oh. Ask me how much my shoulder hurts right now. The answer, a lot. But it's for a good cause. Damn it. Donate to hungry families. Tell Republicans to fuck all the way off. All right, let's see. What is going on Blue Sky right now? The cost that is required to change the name of the Department of Defense to Department of War is enough to house every single homeless veteran in the country. Wow. That's impressive. Yeah, it's like billions of dollars to do this. You know what's going to be super annoying about that? They're going to do it. They're going to spend the money. And then when the Democratic president pops in and says, yeah, we're not fucking doing this, and they're going to change it back, Republicans are going to scream about wasting the money. I promise you. They're going to be like, bah, 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 bah. Oh my God. It's definitely going to fucking happen. It's going to be so fucking annoying. Oh my God. Oh my fucking God. People are starting to call Megyn Kelly Megyn R. Kelly. That is fucking amazing. Megyn R. Kelly. Oh my God. That's going to drive her fucking crazy. Oh my God. She's going to fucking hate that. That's it. I refuse to call her anything else from now on except Megyn R. Kelly. I don't care what, man, it would be even better if her middle initial was actually R, but that's going to be absolutely fucking amazing. She's going to lose her fucking shit about it. What is the best way to get into D&D? Always wanted to play, never had anyone to play with. Now I have kids. Let's see. How old are your kids, Dave? Like I was trying to get Anastasia to start playing when she was like 9 and 10, and I couldn't get her to do it. Like I was begging and she wouldn't try. And then when she was like 13, she just said, "Hey, can we try D&D?" And I was like, "Huh?" It's like, "Yeah, like me and my friends, we want to try D&D." And I was like, I had to like be really, really fucking cool about it. I had like be like super fucking chill. And I was like, "Yeah, if you want to try, we could definitely do that." Like, "You sure?" She's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Oh yeah, I can pick up some stuff." "Oh yeah, no, it's okay if you spend money." I'm like, no, it's perfectly fine. I went out, dropped like $150 on all the shit for it. I didn't tell her how much it cost. And it was like, "Yeah, no, it's fine. No, I can definitely get that for you. Yeah, no, we can definitely play." So we've been playing for 2 years now. Now, all right, so your kids are 6 and 4. My mother taught me to play Dungeons and Dragons when I was 5 years old. I couldn't even read yet. And I knew she taught me how to play Dungeons and Dragons. And it was awesome. One of the first dungeons we ever did, my mother was a sadistic individual. So 5 years old, right? We're playing Dungeons and Dragons, and I no idea what I'm doing, right? Like, she explained the rules, blah, blah, blah. And we're going through, we're playing, and I read a cursed scroll. And I turned me into a frog. And the curse was I had to explore the next room by myself as a frog. Okay. Hop, 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 hop. The next room was a stable with horses. One of the horses, mind you, my mother's controlling the game. She's the dungeon master. The horse shit on me. The horse pooped on me, and as a frog, and I died. And that's how I lost my first character in Dungeons and Dragons at 5 years old. My mother was a very quirky individual. She was a very, very quirky individual. Oh, yeah. And we kept playing for the next, 2 years. And then I played with my friends, and then I didn't play again until high school. And then we played for 4 or 5 years, maybe a little bit longer. And I played some after college. It wasn't Dungeons and Dragons though. Like we played Star Wars, Vampire the Masquerade. And then, I just haven't been able to play a role-playing game for years. Like we wanted to, and then my daughter. I don't know. 6 and 4 might be a bit much because there's a lot going on in Dungeons and Dragons now, and I don't know if they have like a really scaled down, simplified version of it. But they do have. There's something called the Dungeons and Dragons Essentials Kit, which is like a scaled back version. 6 and 4 might be a little not quite there yet. Definitely the 4-year-old might have just going to struggle with it. But the D&D Essentials Kit has everything you need to learn how to play the game, like the basic version of it. I mean, there's more to it after that, but the Essentials Kit will teach you the basics of how to play, and it gives you very simple adventures to go on. There's not a ton of story, which is fine. Right? When I was doing it, like I put a lot more story into it because, they were 13 years old, so they could handle it. but I built like a much bigger story around that. But for younger kids, it's just like little simple adventures they can go on and yada yada yada, and it's pretty straightforward, and it is a lot of fun. Dungeons & Dragons is fucking awesome. So, but yeah, you might want to give them another 2 years, but it's definitely fun. You know what you could do, actually? Oh no, I definitely got my sense of humor from my mother, and so did Anastasia. She's got a very sharp tongue and a very wicked sense of humor. But Dave, you know what you might want to do? I don't know if you have a video game system, but Baldur's Gate, the Baldur's Gate games, Baldur's Gate 2, Baldur's Gate 3, they play very, very close to how the actual real game plays. Like in terms of spell casting, in terms of how the armor works and how the weapons work, it's very, very similar. So I'm sure the 4-year-old's not like super heavily into like video games, like that kind, like role-playing games, but the 6-year-old might be. He might, or he or she, they might be able to like sit down and play that game. It translates very, very closely. Like anything that they if they've played Baldur's Gate and they sit down with the pen and paper, they're going to recognize what they're looking at. It's that similar. The game mechanics are that similar. They really took the tabletop role-playing game and put it on the screen, which is a really neat trick, since usually that kind of thing does not translate well, but they put a huge amount of effort in making it play like Dungeons & Dragons is supposed to, which, and it's a great game. So kudos to them. Of course, the problem is the story is like really well done and really advanced, so you'd have a lot to live up to there. But it is a lot more fun when you're doing it yourself. And of course, children are insane and do lots of crazy, stupid things, which makes it lots and lots of fun. Like the girls are completely insane and do incredibly stupid things all the time. My personal favorite is when they ate a zombie just to see what would happen. And then I explained, you're infected with zombie plague. What did you think was going to happen? It's funny. Anyway, so, yeah, that's where we are. All right, people, we need another $45 here. We need another $40. We need to get to $100. We need to get to $1,900 today. You got to help me out. Share the link. Click on the QR code. Just $45 more. And in the meantime, if you have any questions, let me know. Oh, by the way, if you have not seen it yet, Predator Badlands is awesome. You should definitely go see it. It was extremely well done. A lot of fun to watch. You do not need to have seen any of the other movies. I mean, if you've seen the Predator movies, if you've seen the Alien movies, then yes, you'll get a little bit more out of it because it's Predator and blah, blah, blah. You do not have to have seen them at all. It does its own world building extremely well. And it's just a fantastic movie. I loved it. So I would strongly recommend, if you get a chance, go see Predator Badlands. It is a fantastic, fun action flick. I haven't seen how it's been doing in the theaters. I forgot to check that. I'm really hoping it does well because they set up for a sequel, obviously, and I'm super excited for it. Even though it probably won't come out for like 3 years, which is like, ugh, whatever. But what are you going to do? Tee-hee. Definitely worth watching. I promise you. Especially if you like the Predator and Alien universe and all of that stuff. So worth watching. What I'm really looking for, now that they have Alien Earth, which has been really good. There's another Alien movie coming out, which will probably be extremely good. They've got this Predator movie. They have Prey. I'm waiting for a Colonial Marine series. I need a Colonial Marine series so badly. You have no idea how badly I want a Colonial Marine series or movie. I will take either one. Give me Colonial Marines. My God. I mean, not for nothing. They were my favorite part of Aliens. So I need more Colonial Marines. Desperately need Colonial Marines running around killing aliens and not all getting slaughtered in the process. Please give me Colonial Marines. But, fingers crossed. We'll see. Personally, I would like to see the Colonial Marines fighting predators, because every time humans fight predators, the humans get their asses kicked because they don't know what they're fighting. But in the future, they know who the predators are. They know what predators are, and they know about them. And if they know what they are, they know how to deal with them. Like, they're familiar with their technology. I would really like to see that fight. That would be so much more fun than, a bunch of humans showed up and got slaughtered by a predator they couldn't see and they didn't know what was happening. I want to see a proper fight. Oh my God. They would probably still lose because, not for nothing, predators have way more advanced technology, but at least it would be a fight. Please give me my Colonial Marines. I want the Colonial. I'm sorry. Anyway. All right. So, me. All right, people. Click on the QR code, please. Donate to hungry families. This is from Feeding America. It is an organization. If you have missed this conversation, I've already said like 5 times. For every dollar you donate, they can produce 10 individual meals for hungry families. That is really, really good. They stretch your dollar a really long way. We are at $1,855. We just need another $45 to get to $1,900, and that is 19,000 meals that we will have donated to families in need this holiday season, while the Trump regime is in the middle of still denying people SNAP. So there are hungry kids out there right now that need food, because this fucking fascist regime is just hurting people just to hurt them, because that's what they do, because they're fucking monsters. So help out any way you can, even if it's just $5, $10, doesn't matter. Click on scan that QR code, or grab the grab that link, share it on your Substack, and just try to get people to just donate a couple of dollars. Just need another 45 to get over that finish line. What state am I? I'm in Virginia. I'm in Northern Virginia. I'm in deep, deep blue Virginia, which we're the people that bring Virginia to the blue side, which drives most of the rest of the state crazy. They call us occupied territory. It's very funny. Haha. Tee. Yeah, it's us and Richmond. Richmond is the capital, but it's like mid-state. And between Northern Virginia and Richmond, we swing the whole state blue. And all the rest of it is mostly red, and they fucking hate us. And it's really funny, though, because, they're like, oh, blah, 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 we're most of the state. It's like, but you're not most of the state. You're open, flat, well, not necessarily flat, but you're open, unoccupied land. If there's 300 people in Alexandria and 300,000 people in Alexandria, or 400,000 people in Arlington, and in your entire section down there, there's 100,000 people, it doesn't matter if you occupy 10 times as much land. There's less of you. You don't get to dictate the state. That's not how that works. It's called the majority. There's more of us. There's less of you. Land doesn't vote. Every time they show me that fucking map where It's like, oh, most of the country's red. No, most of the country is fucking trees and rocks. No one lives there. Sorry. Your fucking state of Nebraska is empty. No one lives in Nebraska. The fact that you have 2 senators is bullshit. You should not have 2 senators. You should have a quarter of a senator. Just 1/4. They should cut your 2 senators into pieces. There should be 1/4 of them. But you don't have enough people to tell me that you should dictate the country over, the 8 million people that live in New York City. Fuck off with that. It's a democracy, which means, the majority gets to dictate how things are done, not your, mid-rural nothingness where no one lives there. Yes, how did they get 2 senators? Something about compromising and slave states, and had to make sure that the racist white men didn't get sad. Yeah. I'm telling you, if Trump keeps pushing and he manages to collapse the Constitution any further, when we rewrite this shit, Republicans better hope we do not rewrite the fucking Constitution, because it will not be to the benefit of racist fucking white men. Like, all these fucking states where they have a population of, 10 people and 50 cows will not get equal representation because they have 10 people and 50 fucking cows. They're not going to be able to tell, 10 states that have the equivalent population of the, 5 square blocks of Los Angeles are not going to be able to dictate that women can't have abortions. That shit is just not going to fucking fly. They better hope we don't end up rewriting the Constitution after this, because they will not fucking, they'll be so fucking mad. It's like, oh, that's not fair. Actually, it is kind of fucking fair. There's not enough of you to tell everyone else how to live their fucking lives. Ugh. Honestly, the Supreme Court, we need to just fucking add 5 more seats. Or 6 seats? Wait, there's 9? Yeah. Either 4 seats or 6 seats. You don't want an even number, so you don't want to have like, an even split. But yeah, they just need to add seats and take away their power, because they are so fucking corrupt right now. Oh, let me tell you something. But by the time the midterms roll around, if Clarence Thomas and Samuel Alito have not retired, I will be fucking amazed. Absolutely fucking amazed. Because if the Democrats take the Senate, they're in a lot of fucking trouble. Because Samuel Alito and Clarence Thomas are going to be in their 80s by 2029, when there will be a Democrat in the White House with a Democratic Senate. And that means those two are going to fucking die, or they're going to have to fucking resign from old age. They're not going to make it through 8 years of a Democratic president with a Democratic Senate. And when that happens, they lose the court. And once they lose the court, everything ends for Republicans, which means they're going to have those two fucking resign. If by, I'm going to say, July of next year, like after their term ends and they've already done all the damage they can do, and they've given all their fucking, whatchamacallums, I'm going to say sentences, whatever. Oh my God, why can't I think of the fucking word for it? Whatever, all the decisions. Thank you, Jesus. Yeah, once they give all the decisions for the year, once they finish giving the decisions after the end of their term, I think those two are going to resign. So Trump could appoint their 25-year-old replacements. They can be impeached, but you would need 67 senators to do it, I think. It's either 60 or 67, and that's just not going to happen. No Republican would ever vote to impeach. Like, honestly, Clarence Thomas could murder someone. on camera, and they would never remove him from the bench. But yeah, I think next summer, if things keep going the way they're going, and it's obvious that Democrats are going to sweep everything, I think those two are going to resign, or at least one of them. And if one, and because they have to maintain their majority. And Thomas definitely will be under orders from his billionaire owners to resign. And he'll just be set up for life. He'll be given a cushy, extremely well-paying job doing nothing so he can drive around in his fucking RV because he's a whore. He sold himself. He's that he's disgusting. So, yeah. But yeah, look for it for next summer. You heard it here first. Christ. Ugh. All right. Excuse me. Oh, Canada's hardly a bastion of non-corruption. You guys do have your own problems. Just in comparison, I mean, you're squeaky clean compared to us. But, you do have your own. Still, I'd rather be where you are. I'd rather have your level of corruption than ours. Ours is, my God. I mean, this is unlike anything in American history, and we've had some really corrupt periods. But this is a new level, way off the fucking charts for us. And it's going to be fascinating because as soon as Trump is gone, the first thing the legacy press is going to do is try to rewrite history and tell us that it actually wasn't that bad. Because that's what they did with Bush. As soon as Bush was gone, we have to look forward. We have to move on for the good of the country. And it wasn't all that bad after all. And things were, things are looking up. It wasn't really that bad. We have to move on. That's what they're going to do. That's what they did after the first Trump regime. And they got really, really mad when people started holding Trump and his people accountable. They were like, oh, wait, this is unprecedented. We can't be doing this. This is terrible. Yeah. Ugh. All right, people, we are down to the last $35. Just $35. That's all we need left. And we are there. $35 measly dollars. Go look in JD Vouch's couch cushions. Okay, don't look there. Whatever you find there will be gross and sticky. Ew. Ew. I went there. I said it. Yeah, true. Right? Canada gets to look south. Canadians have the benefit of seeing what it means to go down the same roads as the United States. Yeah, don't do that. That's why you guys won't let Fox News. You guys you keep banning Fox News. Murdoch, you won't let Murdoch get a hold of your media. I think like several years ago I saw something Sun News or something like that try to open up there, and you guys shot it down because they're a fucking cancer. Murdoch is a cancer. I mean, he's really hurt Australia, and he is absolutely fucking like almost murdered this country. Like, honestly, it annoys the shit out of me that his fucking son Lachlan is taking over because he's just as bad. And we're going to be dealing with the fact that so much of the fucking media has been captured by the right for decades. It's going to take us decades to deal with this. Like, we're going to have like a fucking popular uprising to get these fucking maggots out of power. But they're going to be polluting the airwaves for decades. The only thing that gives me any hope is that, younger people tend not to pay a whole lot of attention to newspapers and cable news. So it's like, well, congratulations on controlling CBS News. The boomers are going to be dead soon, and they're really the only ones that pay attention to the news that way. Millennials, millennials and Zoomers, and definitely Alpha, they do not fucking watch CBS. They don't watch CNN. they don't watch cable news. So, you can pollute that all you want. You already got control of the boomers. They ain't gonna do you much good past that. Good luck though, guys. Blah. All right, we're down to the last $35. Just 35 more bucks. Scan that barcode. Hit that whatchamacallit? Oh my god, my words are failing. My brain's starting to stop working. Yep. There you go. There's the link. Share it on your feeds. Do an ogre a favor. I've been talking for 2 hours. I'm dying. Okay, I'm not dying. Actually, I haven't looked at TV. The less people are watching TV, period. Have you noticed how cheap big screen TVs are? I have not looked at TVs in a long time. I knew they were getting cheaper. I have no idea how much they are now. I can only imagine. I thought they were getting cheaper because they were just getting easier to make with LEDs and shit like that. Yeah, and everything's being made in China. China! You have to make it in China. Goddamn fucking Trump. God, he's such a douche. Blah. Anywho, let's see. Oh, goody. Hold on. Let me check. La 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 la. Da 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 da. La 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 la. Jeffrey Epstein advised Steve Bannon during 2018 pro-Trump media campaign. Of course he did. Ugh. God. Can't even with these fucking people. Nope. Just poking around here. All right, let's see. Where are we? Hey, what's up, Morgan X? Oh, youch. You got a molar yanked. Blah. I'm looking forward to finding out if I'm going to have a wisdom tooth pulled at some point in the future, now that I actually have one growing in. Yeah, Dave, you're definitely going to want a big screen to play Baldur's Gate. Yeah, it was weird. Like, I don't know, like a month or so ago, I felt something poking at the back of, like, I kept feeling something in the back of my mouth, and I was like, what is that? Is there something caught on my tooth? What is that? What is that? And I kept poking it with my excuse me, I am not a frog. I am an ogre. Thank you very much. Kermit is a frog. I am an ogre, and ogres have molars. But yeah, I kept poking at it, and I was like, what is that? What is that? And then I was like, I stuck my finger back there, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? Wait, is that do I have a fucking tooth coming in? Are you shitting me? I have a goddamn tooth coming in? And yeah, I had a tooth coming in. So I have a wisdom tooth, finally, at the ripe old age of 52. It's like, honestly, it's not bothering me at this point. So it's coming in very, very, very slowly. Hopefully it's coming in straight and I won't have to have it removed, but I'll find out. Wait, did you not know I was an ogre? Did you think I was actually a frog? My feelings are hurt. The picture's right next to me. Look at it. Look at it. It's right there. Look, that's not a frog. That's an ogre. That's right. You're Canadian. I won't take it personal. Don't blame ADD. Look at that. It's right there. See? See? Look. Looks just like it. The pictures are exactly the same. There's no difference whatsoever. They're identical. Left, right, frog ogre. Is that like man, woman, camera? You might have to go get an MRI now, just like Trump. So Morgan actually had a nice Jewish boy remove your tooth. They're all so young these days. Yeah, you know, I've never learned how to make soup. I really do have to try at some point. I have to put some effort into that. That's like one of the few foods I've never actually tried to make from scratch is soup. It can't be that hard. Oh, that's not true. I'm sorry. I've made ramen, which, you know, is technically soup, but I've never made like, you know, chicken noodle or anything like that. But I've made ramen a whole bunch of times from scratch. Smoothies. My God, when I first started making smoothies, Anastasia was like, this is the greatest thing ever. She thought that was awesome. She loves smoothies. Then we got one of the little bullet blenders to make them like real proper, because making them in a regular blender is a pain in the ass. Yes, ramen is soup. Yes, it is. I wasn't even thinking about that because, you know, you have to make all the noodles and blah, blah, blah. Making the soft-boiled eggs properly is a bit of a pain in the ass and time-intensive, but it's doable, and it's fun when you get it in there. There, does that help? There, now I look exactly like the picture. Actually, I just need a nose. I have to put a nose on. Wait, there we go. There we go. Rah, rah. All right. Anyway, so we're down to the last little bit of the Ask Me Anything, which like only 2 people have been asking me questions this entire time. There's over 100 people in here, and only 2 people have been asking me questions. Come on, people. What are you all doing here? I got $35 left. $35 more. That's it. Yeah, see, that's why I don't make soup. I don't have 2 days to make a meal. I'm way too impatient for that. That's my ADA. My ADD. See, I can't even spell it correctly. Grab that link, share it around, scan this QR code, and that's it. Just $35 more. I've been on here for 2 hours and 13 minutes. Cut an ogre a break. Feed some hungry people. Not me. I'm not a hungry person. I am not a hungry ogre. When I get hungry, I just go and eat some trolls. Nom, 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 nom. Trolls are delicious. It's my main food group. I love trolls. Nom, 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 nom. So, anybody have any questions for the ogre? Anything? Anybody? 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 Raise your hand. What were you going to ask? How chewy are trolls? They're very chewy. Don't worry about it, Morgan. Just grab the link and share it. Tell people to donate. Tell them we just need another $35. Then we can wrap this up. I can go pick up my car from the mechanics. What size shirt do I wear? It depends on the shirt. It depends. Well, so it could be a 2X or 3X, depending on how it's cut. If it's a 2XLT, then I could wear it. The problem is those are really fucking hard to find. Like, I like graphic tees. I only really like graphic tees. I like wearing plain t-shirts is boring as shit. I like anything, like I like, comic book shirts, movie shirts, stuff like that. But it's hard to find that stuff in tall. It's so hard to find it in tall. So, and I'm a plus size guy, so I'm tall and big. So I can get away with a 2XT, but finding that is almost impossible. So I usually end up having to get a 3X because, it's not tall enough, but it's bigger, so it hangs down. It's annoying. I would prefer to get a tall and have it be not as big, but, you do what you got to do. When it comes to polos, that I can just, do a 2X because that I can find. I can always find those tall. That's easy to do. But yeah, it's annoying. Especially, it's really hard with sweat jackets. Oh my God, what a pain in the ass. Getting a tall sweat jacket is like, well, no pun intended, but it's like pulling teeth. It's so hard to find tall sweat jackets. It's like, why? What is it with the 2XT? Why is this impossible to find? So annoying. But, I used to be like a 4 or 5X, but a couple of shirts I had to get like a 5 or a 6, depending on how they were cut. But I have lost a significant amount of weight since then. So now I can wear much, much smaller shirts, which is awesome because it really broadens my range of stuff I could wear. They don't always make 5X shirts, but they do make a lot of 2X and 3X shirts, which is great. Oh, you only wear black polo since college because you're so cool? Oh, you're so emo. What do you mean you're anti-graphic logo? Ugh, emo. You're so edgy, Morgan. Oh, yeah. No, definitely. Like I was up to 330 pounds back in 2021. And I am now currently down to 250. Wait, did I say 230? No, 330. Sorry, I was at 330. Now I'm down to 250 or 252. So yes, it's been awesome. It's definitely been an improvement to my health. Hey, I'm Gen X. I'm a young Gen X. Okay, not really. I'm middle Gen X. I'm right in the middle. 1973, right smack in the middle of Gen X. Yeah, at some point, I'm hoping to get my wife on her own dose of Ozempic. And once she gets back on her own, I can go back to my full dose. Because right now, we're splitting mine in half. And I'm hoping I can go back to my full dosage, which means I should be able to scrape off probably another 20 pounds if I go back to because I'm literally doing half of what I should be doing right now. And I'm maintaining at 250. So when I go back to full, I'm hoping to scrape it down to like 230 would be awesome. Hey, I'm 6'1". Even at 250 pounds, I'm still an ogre. Does what really work? Ozempic? Ozempic works extremely well. Oh, you're doing it without? Nice, Morgan. Congratulations. Yeah, no, Ozempic is extremely effective. I'm told Monjuro is more effective, but it also supposedly has a bit of an impact with people with sleep apnea. which I have. So I've decided not to try that at the moment. But no, Ozempic has been hugely beneficial for me. I don't know if anyone can get it. I guess well, Europe and Canada, so I don't know how health insurance works up there when it comes to drugs like that. I guess it depends on your weight. Like, I was way overweight, obviously. 330 pounds is way overweight. Actually, by the time I started taking it, I was 300, but still way overweight. Really? You can't get Ozempic in Canada? Oh, nice. You reverse your diabetes, Morgan? I was not quite at diabetic. I was pre-diabetes, whatever that means. But I was borderline for a very, very long time. And now I am not at all. Like, my blood sugar is perfectly normal, which is fucking awesome. And it's been normal for the better part of a year. And I plan to keep it that way because, yeah, the diabetes and the blood sugar stuff becomes quite a problem if you let that go on too long. So it's like, yeah, I would prefer not to have any of those issues. I'm still trying to get my blood pressure under control. So yeah, no, when I was hitting the gym for a while, I have to get back to it. But yeah, no, cardio is the fucking worst. Oh, Jesus, low blood pressure? My mother had low blood pressure. She almost fainted a bunch of times, but man, I don't even know if it's possible for me to have low blood pressure. Mine's always high. Like, we tried cutting back my blood pressure medication. That was a disaster. I mean, a low dose of Ozempic would do that for you. Yeah, we have a gym in the building now, and we were hitting it for a while, and then we just kind of fell off. I'm going to try to get back to it soon-ish. It doesn't help that I'm stressed out all the time and trying to do as much work as possible because of this fucking regime. But, that's not a great excuse. But I will get back to it. It's very helpful having a gym right in the building. Oh, I don't know. I've never dealt with antidepressants. My girls take those. Like, they take, like, Anastasia takes a very, very, very low dose. Lila takes a much, much higher dose. Anastasia only needed it to take off a bit of the edge because she was a little too stressed out. Lila was having much more trouble. And we had to really nag her mother to get her to take her to get that. She didn't want to. And like, she needs help. You have to fucking help her. She's spiraling and she's like, it's getting really, really bad. And this is taking too long. We had to get her to a psychiatrist in the first place, a therapist. And we had to nag her mother for that. It was just like, you have to. And finally we just said, we're going to find you a fucking therapist. You're going to pick one. And we made her do it. We love Claudia, but she's very procrastinating. Oh yeah, I don't know how they mix. Yeah, I've never had to check into that, so I do not know. And hopefully I won't. Yeah, Lila did that once. She just stopped taking it for a couple of weeks without telling anybody, and all of a sudden she just got really, really bad. We're like, what the fuck is happening? And then we found out she stopped taking it. We were like, why the fuck would you do that? She's like, well, I didn't think I needed it. And we were just like, argh. She's never done that again. She's been so much better. It's helped her so fucking much. Yeah, no, we just like when it comes to Lila, we like we're very me and Mrs. Ogre are super parenty with her. Like we co-parent sometimes when Claudia gets overwhelmed with with her school and everything else. We just kind of step in and we just kind of co-parent when we need to. So yeah, well, we didn't want Lila to get there. That's why we stepped in. Like, yeah, we can't let it spiral to that point. We did not want to see her get to self-harm levels. It was like, nope, can't have this. So we did what we had to do. We don't like bigfooting her mom, but it was like, yeah, no, we're stepping in here. Sorry. But it worked out. She's doing way, way, way better now. And now she's 18. She's legally an adult. Now we can point at her and make fun of her and say, ha, you're old. To which her response is, fuck you. And our response is, fuck you back. You're an adult now. We can say that. All right. People, there are 139 of you in here. This is technically an Ask Me Anything, but it is also, please go donate money to hungry people. This money is not going to me in any way, shape, or form. I am not even a middleman here. This is me going, hey, go give money to that group right there. They deliver food to hungry people. Go give them money. So this isn't even my fundraiser. This is someone else's fundraiser that I jumped on because I am not good at organizing this sort of thing. Melissa Corrigan, whose newsletter, man, I should have set up a thing for her. But her newsletter is on Substack. Obviously, it's a newsletter. You should totally follow her. She's awesome. But she set this up, and this is through Feed America. Or Feeding America. They are super highly efficient. For every dollar you donate, they produce 10 meals for hungry people. So we need another $35 to reach my not quite stretch goal of $1,900. And that last $100, the original goal was $2,000, but I can live with $1,900 because that is 19,000 meals that we will have delivered to hungry people in a time where Donald Trump and his regime of fucking shitheels has cut off SNAP and still have not fully returned it to the people who are hungry because, they're Christians. Good Christians. Yes, they're good Christians. No, they're fucking shitheels. I hate these people. They're fucking monsters, and I wish I believed in hell so they could all burn in it. But I don't. But I still think they're going to burn in hell anyway because they're fucking monsters. So, scan that QR code or grab the link and go feed some hungry kids. There's like 12,000, 15,000 hungry kids that are being deprived SNAP because, again, these people are fucking monsters. Wait, can you not hear me? Can you hear me now? Hello, hello? I hope you can hear. Wait, hold on. Okay, I can hear me. Oop, I got to beat myself. Okay. Yay, I'm back. Woo! Little technical glitches. All right, so we just need another $35 to reach our goal. Or, the mini goal of $1,900. And I can stop yapping. I've been on here for 2.5 hours now. Cut an ogre a break. See? Feeding America. Donate to hungry families. Tell Republicans to fuck all the way off. Hey, what's up, Patrick? Ouch. Snap, crackle, pop. What time is it? Oh, it's 2:17 here on the East Coast in lovely Arlington, Virginia. It has, in fact, been that long. I'm a yapper. I can yap. Yap, 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 yap. All I'm going to go pop this back out on Substack again. I'm wishing I'd turned off the heat. It's getting quite warm in here. All right, there we go. Yeesh. Let's see. How are we doing here? How's this article doing? Oh, Jesus. Wow. I published an article at what time did I publish it this morning? I don't even know. When did I publish it this morning? Let's see. 7 o'clock this morning, and it has 6,497 views, 173 shares. So I guess that article's doing well today. Lovely. Do I have any festive scarves? No, I have a scarf. I have a single scarf. One that I've had for, yay! Just $25 to go. Woo! Hooray, hooray. Bleh, sorry. As my throat seizes up. So close. So very close. Oh, how interesting. It's showing the different time zone. The nerve. Yeah, no, I was never big into scarves. Like, the only time I ever wear a scarf is when it's like super crazy bitter cold outside, just to cover my face. But generally speaking, I don't do scarves. I do have an hoodie. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Morgan X. You should have thrown $10 at a tooth. Ha 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 ha. Oh wow, you're that far. You're in a different time zone than me? Huh. Well, I guess you are further to the east. But yeah, no, I have an hoodie, which is it's supposed to be one of those things like, you wear it inside, and it's like a big giant thing you wear inside. It's all cozy, blah blah blah. Except I'm so big, I'm tall enough and big enough that I can wear it outside like a giant jacket, and it's super super warm, and it's great in the middle of the winter. It's too big for normal size people. The only thing is, since I've lost so much weight, it's a little too big for me now. Like, I'm certainly tall enough, but it's a little too large. So now it just kind of flaps around me. If it's too windy, the wind just kind of blows right up it, which is not ideal. If it's not windy outside, it's still great. If it's windy outside, it is not great. It just blows right. It's blowing right up my skirt. But yeah, so it's kind of sad because I used to love wearing it outside in the middle of winter because, goddamn, didn't matter if it could be like 5 degrees outside and I was warm as shit. Didn't matter. It was like, I'm fine. But, oh well, what are you going to do? I'd prefer to lose the weight and not be able to wear the hoodie. All right, I'm only going to be able to go for another 10 minutes because I do have to go get my car before the kids get home. Oh, man, you guys are lucky. You're all the way up there. You saw the Northern Lights the last couple of days, didn't you? I've been dying to see the Northern Lights for so long. And even when it does get this far down, I'm in the middle of fucking Northern Virginia. I'm right next to DC. I can't see a goddamn thing. It is way too bright. It would have to be like the brightest of Northern Lights for me even to see a glimpse of it. And there's no place nearby. Like, I can't drive 10, 20 minutes someplace dark. There's nothing around here at all. So I have way too much light pollution. But one of these days, someday, I will go on vacation just to go see the Northern Lights. That is on my bucket list. I cannot die until I see the Northern Lights. I must see them. Must. Which means I will have to go up to Canada, not to get away from the Nazi regime or anything, but to go see the Northern Lights. Totally. It's like, why are you coming to Canada? Business or pleasure? Northern Lights, man. It's both business and pleasure. Now get out of my way. Oh, man, I wish I had a dog. The only way you can have a dog in this building is if it's a service dog. And while we could get a service dog, which costs several $1,000s, we could also get a fake certificate, which a whole bunch of people in this building have done. There's a lot of dogs in this building that are not service dogs, but they got fake certificates. And it's obvious they got fake certificates because, service dogs don't bark. But I just can't. I can't do it. I can't get a fake certificate to get a fake service dog. Like, it's easy. And they won't complain. Like, I know the people, the management of the building isn't going to say anything because they turn a blind eye to all the other people. But I know that it takes away from people who have real service dogs to have a fake service dog. So, yeah, I know. But to get a real one, it literally costs several $1,000s. Actually, I think it costs more than that. So we just haven't. We don't have the money to do that for real. And I just refuse to do a fake one. So what are you going to do? Womp womp. I mean, we could have gotten a service dog for Jordan as well. I mean, he's autistic. We definitely could have done it. But again, she definitely would have loved. She wants a dog. Like, she's always wanted a dog, and it definitely would have helped with depression. But we just don't have the money to do that. One of our friends, we helped her do a fundraiser, and it was a lot of money to get a service dog. So we do have 2 cats, and she loves the cats. So she loves petting them. But what are you going to do? Oh, speaking of cats, hold on. There's mine. If you can't read the little sign, it says "Idiot Cat, $7.99 a pound, freshly baked." He loves laying on top of the radiator. He just loves sitting on top of the heater now, and just sits there and roasts. He just lives for it now that the heat's on. It's like his favorite thing in the world. That's what he does all day. I have that plastic thing there because the way my desk is situated, the air blows right into my face, which is really unpleasant. Like, it's not great when it's the heat, gets a little sweaty, but it's really unpleasant when it's an air conditioner because then I just freeze. So that's there to just deflect the air from blowing right on me. All right, let's see. Yep, we are down to $15, people. We just need $15 more. Excuse me. 15 more bucks. Please scan the QR code or grab that link, click on it, or copy paste and share it to your Substack feed, and just $15 more, and we'll have hit our mini goal of $1,900. Just a little more, almost there. So close, so close, so close, so close. You can do it. You can do it. Whee! Oy. Oh man, we're coming up at 2 hours and 40 minutes here. Good lordy. This is a bit of a marathon. Oy. Thank God I have this thing. Oh my God, my shoulder would be screaming right now without it. Why me never ever to do 3 hours again? Heavens. What? Oh, yeah. Oh, here we go. Operation Southern Spear. U.S. builds up military presence in Caribbean. Oh, man, we are so going to fucking invade Venezuela. We absolutely going to invade Venezuela. We desperately, desperately need a distraction. It's just, they got to do it. They got to do it. Trump needs a distraction. Anything, so we won't talk about it. But you know what? We're still going to be talking about the Epstein files because Donald Trump is a fucking pedophile. You know what's going to be really, really amazing is that once that all comes out and Republicans start defecting, because a lot of them are going to be like, yeah, I'm not losing my job for a fucking pedophile. There's no goddamn way I'm going to lose my job over a pedophile. It's going to be really, really interesting to see how Trump tries to reassert control. Like, how do they go back to being slavishly devoted to a pedophile? How are they going to do it? How are they going to square that circle? Like, every time they bend to be back to Trump, it's going to be like, yo, he's a fucking pedophile. Why are you working with him? Well, it's for the good of America. No, he's a fucking pedophile. Why aren't you voting to impeach him? Well, no. He's a pedophile. Why aren't you voting to impeach him? How do you explain that? You can't. And they're going to have to do something. Like, they can't just say, well, I voted for the Epstein files. Yeah, but now what are you doing about it? He's a pedophile. What are you doing about it? And they're not really going to have an answer because there really isn't one. All right. Womp womp. Morgan says, when he has the military pull out, will that be him ending another war? Along with what, the other 5, 6, 7, 8? How many wars is he up to now? He keeps changing the numbers because he keeps forgetting. He doesn't remember how many wars he's ended because he hasn't ended any wars at all because he's full of shit. All right, people, I have to wrap this up. We got super close, though. We're at $1,885, which is awesome. And I want to thank you all so much for everything that you have done, for all the help that you've given us, and all the help that you've given these hungry people. The Ogre Nation is awesome. Now, of the other teams that have been raising money, we are in 4th place. However, I would like to point out that despite being in 4th place, the other people who've been raising money, they've had like a bunch of really large donations, like $500 donations, whereas we've had a couple of large ones for 250, but the majority of our donations have been smaller ones. You know, $50, $25, $5, $10. So even though we're technically in fourth place, we have by far the most donors, like way more donors than everyone else. So yay us. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for everything. You guys are awesome. You're all heroes of the Ogre Nation and honorary citizens. Not honorary. No, you are citizens of the Ogre Nation. And when we all have to escape to Canada, you know, we're going to use the Underground Railroad and go through Niagara, and we're going to go up to see the Northern Lights together. So, all right, everybody, thank you very much. I will see you guys on Wednesday for. Wait, hold on. Yes. All right. Yeah. Next week, we'll be recording our regular show on Wednesday, and on Thursday I will be on with Andra. Oh my God. I'll be recording another show on Thursday with Andra Watkins. So I will see you on Wednesday and Thursday. So